Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. I stared at the white stick trembling in my hand. 2 pink lines. Clear, vivid, undeniable. For a moment, I forgot to breathe. My heart pounded like a trapped bird as the bathroom tiles seemed to close in around me. I was pregnant, and the father was my ex-husband. My knees nearly gave out as I sank onto the edge of the bathtub. The room smelled faintly of lavender soap and betrayal. 3 months ago, I'd walked out of our 5-year marriage with nothing but a suitcase and a stack of signed divorce papers. 3 months of trying to heal, of telling everyone I was finally moving on. And now this. I pressed my palm against my abdomen, still flat, still betraying no secrets. The irony clawed at my throat. How do you tell a man who barely looked at you during the divorce that you're carrying his child? I wanted to scream, to laugh, to throw the test into the trash and pretend it never existed. But denial wouldn't stop the nausea building inside me. The last night we were together replayed in my mind like a cursed reel. It was the night before we filed the papers. He had shown up drunk, saying he wanted closure. Closure turned into an argument, an apology, a kiss, and a moment of weakness that neither of us stopped. We both knew it was a mistake. But when he whispered my name, I almost believed the love hadn't died. Now I couldn't escape the consequences of that lie. By evening, I sat in my car outside his house, watching the soft glow of the living room light spill across the driveway. The blinds were half open. I could see movement inside, a woman's silhouette. My chest tightened. Her laugh drifted faintly through the open window, high and careless. I remembered that laugh. Emily, the woman from his office, the one who used to help him with late-night projects. It seemed they no longer needed to hide. I wanted to drive away, to pretend I hadn't seen her hand on his shoulder. But I couldn't. I had to tell him, and I couldn't do it over the phone. I rang the doorbell. When Daniel opened the door, his expression froze halfway between shock and irritation. He looked different, lighter somehow. Happier. Clara? He said, as if saying my name felt foreign now. I swallowed hard. We need to talk. He glanced behind him before stepping outside, closing the door halfway. This isn't a good time. Who is she? I asked, voice trembling. He sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. Emily. You remember her. Look, we're together now? I finished for him. Already. Things just happened, he said, eyes darting away. We weren't right for each other, Clara. You know that. The air between us thickened with resentment and disbelief. I almost told him right then, but the words stuck in my throat. Not with her inside. Not when I could hear her humming softly in our kitchen. Instead, I whispered, I need to see you tomorrow. Alone. The next day, I met him at a cafe we used to frequent. Everything looked the same. Same wooden booths, same quiet hum of conversations. But the warmth was gone. He sat across from me, stirring his coffee. So, what's this about? I took a deep breath, the words heavy as stone. I'm pregnant. His spoon froze midair. For a long moment he didn't blink. You're what? Pregnant? I repeated, forcing calm into my voice. It's yours. He leaned back slowly, eyes wide with disbelief. That's impossible. Daniel. No, Clara. We haven't been together in months. How do I even know it's mine? The accusation hit like a slap. Because I haven't been with anyone else? I said through clenched teeth. Can you say the same? He opened his mouth, then shut it. Guilt flickered across his face. Quick, but undeniable. I stared at him. You slept with her while we were still married, didn't you? His silence was the answer I dreaded. Something inside me cracked. You destroyed everything, Daniel. You said it was my fault, that I was distant, cold, but you were already gone. He exhaled, eyes glistening with something that might have been regret. I didn't mean for it to happen. Emily was there when you weren't. You were always working, always angry. I was lonely. I laughed bitterly. So you found comfort in her bed? He flinched, and for the first time I saw shame. Real, raw shame. I'll do what I can, he said finally. If the baby's mine, I'll support you. His tone was flat, transactional, like we were discussing a contract, not a child, not a life. The following weeks blurred together. Doctor appointments, quiet nights staring at the ceiling, ignoring calls from friends who didn't know the truth. Every time I imagined the baby, I wondered whose heart it would resemble mine, still bleeding from betrayal, or his, capable of loving two people at once. I told myself I was strong enough to raise this child alone. I even started believing it, until the day I received an envelope in the mail. Inside was a photograph, Daniel and Emily at a gender reveal party. Her belly round, his hands cradling it. The caption on the back read, "It's a girl." I nearly dropped it. My pulse thundered in my ears as I reread the date scrawled in the corner. 7 weeks ago, the exact week he and I spent our last night together. I did the math. Her due date, mine, they overlapped. My vision blurred as realization sank in. He had gotten both of us pregnant at the same time. That night, I stood on my balcony, the city lights shimmering beneath a cloudy sky. My phone buzzed. His name flashed across the screen. I let it ring. When the call ended, a text followed, "We need to talk. Please." I typed back, "No. You need to live with what you've done." I already am. Then I set the phone down and pressed my hand over my belly. "I'll protect you," I whispered, "even if he couldn't protect us." A tear slipped down my cheek, but it carried something unexpected, a flicker of strength. Because love might have broken me, but motherhood was already piecing me back together. And when our children are born, he'll finally see what betrayal truly looks like. Two innocent faces bearing the same eyes, from two women who'll never trust him again. That was the night I stopped being the woman he left, and became the woman who survived him.